Thought Bubble Audio.
Look, up in the sky!
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Name the dog Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints?
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me, as always, is my friend who just can't help himself, Frank. How are you today?
I'm doing all right, but I just can't help myself. I just can't do it.
You sound like you're a little worse for wear, Frank.
It's been a rough,
tiny bit.
It's been a rough few days. Had a run-in with some crooks. Had a run-in with the police. It was really a whole thing, but we can get into that in a minute. First, I want to know what you're drinking, because my priorities are all out of order.
That's this courtroom is out of order, Frank.
Everything's out of order.
And this podcast courtroom is out of order. What an interesting podcast idea. Just putting people on trial on a podcast.
Oh, that's the thing. The Judge John Hodgman podcast. It's great. He administers over like little domestic disputes. So like a married couple fighting over when should we take down our Christmas tree and stuff like that. He's the judge in the courtroom, and they fight and they present their case, and then he judges at the end, and they have to do whatever he says.
That is fantastic.
And it's real people bring their real problems to him. It's fantastic.
I am definitely going to listen to that.
I'll put it in the show notes. It's great. And John Hodgman is great.
Do.
So
yep, that's fantastic. I love that. That sounds so dumb and right on my alley.
It's perfect.
Yeah, so anyway, I am drinking a gluten-free Omission lager, as I was the previous week, because you got to drink what's in the fridge, Frank.
You do, and for that exact reason, that is why I'm drinking a New Belgium Voodoo Ranger Imperial IPA.
That sounds splendiferous. Fantastic.
Yep.
I can't use words.
It's great,
Frank. I just cannot use the words. Now, so Frank, I had mentioned to you just a little previously ago that you were a little worse for wear.
Yeah, well now I'm kicking back with this beer, but before it was rough, man. It was rough. So I got kidnapped, and it doesn't really matter why. It was a whole thing, whatever. It was
because
his fault.
Robert Louis Stevenson said so.
Basically, yes.
That's my Kidnapped the Novel by Robert Louis Stevenson reference for today.
Yeah, that's the reference that everyone was looking for. Check that off your bingo card. But I was kidnapped, and I was given.
Bing the search engine should do a bingo card. There's something to that.
Oh yeah, they should call their users bingos or something.
Bingos, yeah, or you've got
hey
the
there,
bingo.
bingos. Yeah.
I've got the bingo. Anyway,
it's a bingo. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, I was only able to. I had to call on one fictional character to make a rescue attempt, and it was a really hard choice. But I think I ultimately made the right.
Because you have a hard time choosing. Is that why?
I do have a hard time choosing.
You could have gotten out days ago, but you were like, I
only
could be
made a
wrong.
Decision. I'm like Chidi from The Good Place, just like, do I do that? But I could do that. But I ended up making a choice. Have you ever been in a situation like that where you had to just, casual kidnapping and you have to choose one fictional character
at least once a week, Frank?
Yeah.
My name is Timothy Lois Lane. I know it's an odd choice, but it's a family name, Frank. I just get into trouble. It just fits so well.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to tell you who I chose, and maybe we can talk about who you would choose.
Okay, that sounds good.
So I had to think about this pretty hard, but I ultimately went with Han Solo.
Han the solo, you say?
Han Solo can talk his way out of anything, all right? No matter who it is, Han Solo can navigate his way around, charm his way around anybody. I mean, for goodness sake, he won the Millennium Falcon in a game of sabacc, right? Like he won the fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy in a game of sabacc. So he can really get his way out of anything. He can get his way into anything. I mean, if you see, he can fight. He can like him versus the Rathtar in The Force Awakens. Like, come on, he can get his way out of those kinds of situations. When the Millennium Falcon changes hands a few times and it ends up, with Unkar Plutt after going through a series of other passing hands of other smugglers. He manages to get it back even then. He is triumphant. He is what's the word I'm looking for? He will never give up. He's relentless. That's the word. He is smart. He's a fighter. He's got it all. He's got Chewie in his back pocket if he needs support, right? Like,
that's a huge pocket.
Right. And now I know we said only one character, so I'm just saying Han. But if Chewie, if he calls Chewie along to pull some arms out of their sockets, I'm not going to complain either. So I feel pretty good about my choice that Han Solo was the guy for me, and he got me out. He got me out of pickle. Sure, I owe him money now, and he's probably going to smuggle some spices or whatever, and smuggle me to death if I don't pay him. I don't know, but yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. What are your thoughts?
That's a good one. I like it. I don't know if I would actually trust Han to get me out. Because I've seen Han. You've seen Han in 5 films, right? Technically speaking, if you count Solo.
Yep. Which I did.
Yep. Right. Yep. So, and in one of those films, he died, and one of them he was captured. So his
so his batting average is not so great. As what you're
it's
saying.
not actually great. He's pretty good. I mean, he's great at what he does when he does it well. But he's also real good at getting captured himself.
I would still say that's, without dying and without getting captured, that's 3 out of 5 where nothing bad happens to him. That's a 600. That's still a really good batting average.
You're willing to take those odds, huh?
Never tell him the odds.
Yeah, no, never tell him, but you want to. I think you should know them, Frank, as you were the one getting rescued. Well, Han Solo's a great choice. I don't think he ever would have entered my brain, to be totally honest. Nope. I had a couple that it was like kind of all over the place. I'm going to put you on the spot for one later.
Okay.
And so because I want to do this again after I tell you mine, but I'm going to give you some ground rules.
Sure.
Okay. And so, but this one I'm going to go with Albus Dumbledore.
Whoa, that would never have entered my mind. Okay. I can see it.
Right, because nothing can stop Albus Dumbledore. Even in his final moments, it was planned out to a T. Like, it happened the way it was supposed to happen. And so, most powerful wizard of all time. I'm going to say he could pretty much get me out of anything that I need to get out of. I'm not concerned that he's going to fumble his way through it or get captured or killed, or he's going to be mean to me at the end of it, or he's going to call me names or anything like that. He's going to treat me well, plus he's going to get me to safety, and that's the important part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if I had to be specific, because I'm not taking book Dumbledore. I'm not taking film Dumbledores here.
Fair.
Even though Jude Law, newest Dumbledore, is a great man, I'm sure, as a human being, I want book Dumbledore because he's the best one.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. That's fair. That's fair. That's the Dumbledore you fell in love with first. That's the one you want to rescue you.
Exactly. Albus Dumbledore. So those are good. Those are good ones, Frank. Now, I think the obvious question of who would free us if we were, what superhero would free us? It's obviously going to be Superman or Batman,
sure,
or the Flash, and you know what, Wonder Woman, any of them. It doesn't really matter.
Any of the Justice League, any of the Avengers, yeah.
They're all going to get the job done. Not interested, right? We know those answers.
Obvious.
So here's my question: what animated character would you like to come and free you from your kidnappers? Out of any piece of animation, which one do I want coming to free me, and one for you?
That's a good one. Okay.
I know mine. So, do you want me to go first while I can give you a couple of minutes to think it out?
Give me a second. Go for it.
Okay, so this is a little offbeat, but your answer actually inspired me.
Oh,
I want Bugs Bunny to come and free me.
Yeah, I see where you're going, and I love it.
Because Bugs Bunny can talk his way out of anything.
Wow.
Everything in the world can happen to Bugs Bunny and whoever he's with, but somehow he will always win whatever his goal is. He just cannot be stopped, no matter what is in his way. And he's probably going to do it quite amusingly. He can pull a hammer out of nowhere. Like I think it would be. I think Dumbledore, Han Solo, they like come in and get the job done, but you'd almost have like a show at the same time while watching Bugs Bunny do his thing, and so I think it would be interesting. Though I don't know if I would necessarily trust Bugs Bunny the same way that I would trust Dumbledore or something like that. I think it would be fun, I guess, to be rescued by Bugs Bunny. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure.
I mean, he definitely wouldn't have trouble. Like, nothing would get in his way, right? Like, no obstacle is going to get in his way. No person trying to run interference is going to get in his way, because he will talk his way out or fumble his way through any situation, right? No matter if it's Wabbit season or not.
Exactly. The Wabbit season. So that's my answer. Do you have one? Do you have an idea?
So the thing that comes to my mind is Basil of Baker Street.
Oh, the great mouse detective himself. I almost picked Sherlock Holmes as my regular person.
I almost did too. He was definitely on my short list. So I think that Basil would be the next, for the same reasons I would have chosen Sherlock, right? He's the great mouse detective. He's one of the greatest minds of our time. He is
greatest criminal mind of our time.
Greatest criminal mind of our time. Oh boy. But if I were to get kidnapped in Victorian London, and I had to have a cartoon character bail me out, I think for sure I would go with Basil for all the same reasons I would go with Sherlock Holmes.
No, that's a great choice. Great choice. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a series of questions, like a 1-2. You just have to choose first answer that comes to your brain.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Who would you rather be saved by, the genie or Merlin?
Genie.
Great. Who would you rather be saved by, Fred Flintstone or George Jetson?
Ooh, that's a good one. George Jetson.
George Jetson,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What is Fred Flintstone going to do?
Like pedal his car? Like what? I don't.
Yep. Who would you rather be saved by, Mary Jane Watson or Lois Lane?
Well, Lois.
Just because it's Lois.
She's freaking Lois. Like, come on.
Because she's
freaking Lois. Lois freaking Lane. Frickin's her middle name, I think.
Frickin. Lois frickin' Lane.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah.
That's good. Lois frickin' Lane.
Yeah.
Okay. Which car would you rather have come to save you?
Sure.
The Incredicar, Mr. Incredible's car, or the Batmobile?
Batmobile.
The
Hands
Batmobile.
down. Hands down. Yeah. If that's an option, for sure. I mean, the Incredicar is cool, but it's no Batmobile.
Okay. Which sidekick would you rather have come save you? Watson of Sherlock Holmes and Watson fame, or I didn't have a follow up to this. I have good dynamic duo. What's an obvious dynamic duo? One that we know and love so well.
Somebody who's deputized by the city might be nice, sort of give it an official kick.
I think could be
somebody when you see him you go like, boy, wonder where he went.
Yeah, okay, yeah. You know what? That's a great question. So I think it's going to be Watson of Sherlock Holmes and Watson fame, or Barney Rubble.
Yeah, Watson.
Watson. Yes, like Watson. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Barney Fife for a second, and I was like, definitely Watson.
No. Oh, no. Okay. What sitcom best friend would you rather have come save you? Fred Mertz or oh shoot, what's the guy's name from Andy Griffith?
Barney Fife.
Don Knotts.
Oh yeah, Barney Fife.
Barney Fife. Yeah, that is Barney Fife.
Yeah,
okay.
that's Barney Fife. Fred or Barney? I think Barney, but because Barney's like the bumbling cop.
But at least he's a cop.
But what's Fred gonna do? Just like raise my rent? Like I don't like what?
Oh, that's awful. Okay,
yeah,
that's
but
great.
I mean, what
that's
else?
Great.
He's not running anywhere.
Okay,
reflect the light off his bald head. I mean, what really can he do to save me?
Okay, then here's another one. Which comedic actor would you rather have come save you? Lucille Ball or Carol Burnett?
Lucy.
Even though she's definitely gonna fumble it somehow.
But so will Carol Burnett, right? I mean, like
that's true.
It's just a matter of like Lucy will do it with chocolates in her mouth, and Carol Burnett will do it wearing a dress made out of curtains.
That's so true. Okay.
Plus, Lucy will take her vitamin vegemin first, so she'll be all we'll put pep in her step, and she'll not be so unpopular.
Oh, you're so smart. Which president would you rather have come save you? Abraham Lincoln?
Yes.
No, I take that back. Teddy Roosevelt or Andrew Jackson?
Oh, well, Teddy,
because we love Teddy Roosevelt. But Andrew Jackson, I think, would also get the job done.
Oh, he for sure would get the job done. I just don't really want to be friends with him.
Right, yeah, me either. But the man had a tomahawk tattooed on his thigh like that.
For sure, he would get the job done.
He could probably do it. Mm-hmm.
It's not like the Barney Rubble question where it's like one of these can do it and one of these would just totally mess it up. Like they're both capable. It's just a matter of like I'll have a cleaner conscience if it was Teddy versus Andrew Jackson.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Which pet would you rather have come save you? Crypto the super dog?
Okay.
Or Streaky the super cat?
Probably Crypto. I feel like Crypto is more proven in his abilities to do such things.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
Mm-hmm. I feel better about that. Yeah. Well, I think this is kind of where our conversation leads itself for today.
I think you are correct, Frank.
Yeah.
I think you are right. I've learned a lot about you today. I've written it all down
we've really,
for sociological study.
Yeah, we peeled back the layers of the onion here in a way that we don't normally. So I feel very close to you.
Who would you rather have come save you, Shrek or Donkey?
Probably Shrek.
Shrek. Yeah.
Probably Shrek.
Donkey's not doing it.
Donkey's not doing much.
No. If you can get Shrek there, he's good for it.
That's it. If you can get him there, then you're 90% of the way.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Final question before we wrap up. One last thing. Which SNL host would you want to come rescue you? I know. Tough question.
Which host? Like anybody who's ever hosted?
Yeah. Anybody who's ever hosted.
Ooh. Okay. Of anybody who's ever hosted, just because it's on my mind, Paul Simon.
Paul Simon, cool.
Paul Simon, 1976, wearing that turkey suit is one of my all-time favorite things ever. And I'm gonna go Paul Simon.
Love it. Steve Martin for me. Want Steve Martin to rescue me. Anyway, you can find us at beerwithgeeks.com and Twitter and Gmail and Facebook. You can check out thoughtbubbleaudio.com for all of the Thought Bubble Audio shows. And you can head over to patreon.com/thoughtbubbleaudio to donate to the show. 25 cents a week, $1 a month, $12 a year. Keeps the lights on. Unbelievably, it does. We really would appreciate it. You can rate and review us on iTunes and find us in all other places that podcasts can be found. Frank, this has been a pleasure.
Absolutely, my friend, as always.
And as always, so until next time, cheers.